Hello, my fellow cycle breakers. You have been drawn to this video because you're ready to break your intergenerational trauma. You want answers, you want practical ways to integrate all of the knowledge that you have received. And you've probably been guided here by either yourself, because you're a sovereign being. We love that for you, and you might have been guided here because of your spirit team, your higher self, your intuition, whatever energies resonate with you, whatever terminology resonates for you. I am personally super excited to share my journey into the unknown with all of you. And I want to remind us all that we are here to explore and illuminate the unknown, not to explain it. So, I want to share why I've been called to create content for everyone and why I'm on YouTube. It's because I am trusting my intuition at this point heavily, and it just feels like the natural next step in my healing process and my healing journey. Overall, I've been a really big lifelong learner, so just like super curious in general about everything, always learning new things, new rabbit holes all the time. I've really been big on personal growth and personal development. This is basically me just being a high achiever at heart, probably also to do with trauma, but like that's why I'm here. So, my healing journey kicked off in 2020. I started small, so I started going to get massages. I started to do that because I was feeling really bad back tension, hardcore stress tension. I tried talk therapy, was pretty successful with it. I ended up finding my amazing therapist. We love her. Uh, and I also obviously did yoga with Adrienne naturally, because that's what everybody did in 2020. And it was awesome. It was amazing. And then around 2023, that's when things started to really change. I had a really bad regression. I had the biggest panic attack I've ever had in my life. I thought I was having a stroke. I thought I was dying. Was like tingling all up and down my left hand. I was a mess. Like, I can't even tell you how much of a mess I was. I went to the doctor because I thought I was dying, obviously. And I was told that or maybe not told, but heavily guided to go back on medication. And that felt like a kick in the gut, to say the least. I had been off of medication for quite some time. I had been on medication starting in university to help with my ability to work with crowds and just to exist in crowds, to be honest with you, not to work with it, just to exist in it. And yeah, so I ended up going to my pharmacist, who is such a lovely presence at that time. I was a sobbing mess, and I just have so much love and gratitude for this girl who really was really patient with me and explained how my medication worked. And that was the day where I really started to become more honest with myself. I knew I needed to shake things up because I knew that my body was not happy. So I Googled some things, and Pilates came up. Pilates got me in alignment. And then I was journaling a lot. I was doing How to Do the Work by Nicola Pera. She's awesome, the holistic psychologist. I'm saying that as if everyone should know this at this point on my channel. Please go follow her. She's amazing. Um, Especially when dealing with cycle breaking and intergenerational trauma. So 1000% go follow her. And yeah, I ended up getting into tarot, and I was incredibly nervous to start into such a unknown topic, but I decided to jump right into it. Then when I started doing tarot, everything drastically changed. I started seeing things from new perspectives. Everything wasn't the worst anymore. Everything was, I was learning to expand my thought loops, which I thought my thought loops were pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and they were very immature. And it really taught me that sometimes the things that I really, really, really wanted weren't exactly what I needed. There were so many interesting synchronicities. I didn't even know what that word was at the time. So I say this now, but at the time I was like, if you would have said synchronicities, I would have been like, what the fuck is that? Um, so there were just some really crazy coincidences, synchronicities that happened that that allowed me to, it was a big slap in the face. Well, there were like multiple slaps in the face, so I don't want to be like paint you a picture where it's just like one big slap. It was like a so self-care ended up becoming incredibly important to me. And this may sound really frivolous, but I promise it is and it isn't. But I was trying to find things that like really lit me up. So I started like expressing myself, getting my nails done. As you can see, my nails are not done right now. I started getting my hair done. As you can see, I kind of stopped dyeing my hair. It's a whole story. We'll get into it. Don't worry. We have lots of time together. Um, but yeah, I did red hair, I did blue hair, I did all of the things. I also ended up starting to get into like really holistic practices. So not only did I started off with massage, I got into talk therapy, I ended up getting into chiropractic, and I found a really good chiropractor. I had always been to a chiropractor, but like this new chiropractor really resonated with me more at my level, at my frequency. Um, and yeah, and then I ended up getting into osteopath work. A lot of my friends were doing it, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. Not a lot of my friends, but friends I trusted. And yeah, and I added it. I really want to say I added it to my like my massage and my talk therapy. That's incredibly important. Then I ended up going to this place called Grail Springs in Bancroft, Ontario, and I can honestly say that that was the point in my journey where the pace of my healing journey accelerated drastically. And it was actually a year ago that that happened. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you because I think it's important for me to share my journey so that people can resonate with my journey and understand that like me being able to explain myself and communicate myself has not been easy, and this has been years of work, but I also want to make sure that you all know that this doesn't have to take that long, and it can take that long, it doesn't have to take that long, but the biggest part of this, the key part to this, is to practice curiosity and openness, because this is a forever process. Like, it is what it is. So now I want to share with you with what's working, what current rabbit hole I'm into, and my overall connections will kind of embed themselves in all of the videos moving forward. But I want to help you all integrate knowledge in a practical way. That is the reason why I'm here. Yes, I am embracing my spirituality. I'm embracing my knowledge that I've accrued over time. I've read so many books, you don't even understand. I've done a lot of research, I've done a lot of professional development, like I said. And I don't know, I just want to be here as a guide and an example for everybody to show how to integrate, because I think that there's a lot out there where we have a lot of spiritual knowledge. We have a lot of psychology knowledge. We have a lot of body knowledge, like yoga, Pilates. I'm only saying this because that's what I do. We have a lot of knowledge being like pushed into our faces, forced down our throats. And I just want to be here to help everybody with the practical integration side, because this is something that I've had to learn on my own, and it's been an interesting process. So I just kind of want to share this with you, see how this goes. And the first thing I really want to do is a mind, body, spirit check-in. So I invite everybody to take a deep breath in. And breathe out longer than the inhale. You can even tell like my nose is like a little congested, which is interesting. So right now I'm going to start off with the body. I think that's probably the easier one for me right now. So like I'm feeling, I actually did a little meditation before this, and I'm really into like just feeling how my guides come through or are like existing around me in an energetic form. And I was getting this like very interesting, like almost like a magnetic pulse in my right hand, which was very odd. I've never felt that before. So it was kind of cool. Every single time I breathed in, I just got this like wave of relief. And like this is where my anxiety resides, is just right in here. And I just felt like so much release in my body and just relief, and it felt so good. I also looked outside. I was called to, and I noticed there were more trees outside. I was so stoked. Anyways, I digress. Yay, building contractor. Love that for us. I think I want to do spirit next. My mind is always jumbled. Spiritually, I hear a bird outside, which is interesting. So that's interesting. I'm always like listening to signs and whatnot. So I feel good. I feel like I'm on the right path. I feel very good with that overall. I'm feeling a lot more creative as of late too. So I'm writing my book, and I feel really good with that. It's had its ups and downs. Let me tell you, that's a whole story within itself as well. But yeah, my mind, I know I still have some fears that I'm working through. Um, and it's been really challenging to change the neural pathways, to disrupt thoughts that have been going through my head that are very like the same kind of, I'm recycling things essentially over and over again. So I'm figuring out how I'm learning to claim. So instead of just acknowledging, acknowledging is huge. Releasing is huge. I'm also claiming. I'm being sovereign in my maintenance checks, in my mind, body, spirit checks. And I'm realizing like, oh, my mind is go, go, go. Let's change that. And now let's disrupt it in a safe way. Like I'm safe, which is important. So right now, I would say the biggest thing that's kind of out of alignment for me is my mind. So I'm really, and also probably like my body is going through a little bit as well in terms of, overall, I have issues with my spine and my ribs. So I told you the energy of today, but I do have a chiropractor appointment tomorrow because my ribs are just, my right hand side feels off. So and I know that the right hand side is associated with the divine masculine. Those terms are very loose for me. So I say divine masculine, but for me, the divine masculine, since I identify as a female, as a woman, I do find that, like, no matter what, it's not gendered, if you will. So, like, I view the right hand side, the masculine, as active, and the left hand side, the feminine, as not passive, but as receptive, as a receiver, as a, because we like the feminine has the womb, and the womb can create, right? And then the masculine is about not just like active, it's also about giving, right? So we give with our masculine energy, our yin and our yang. So that's kind of how I view it, and that's very nuanced. So that is where I will leave it as of now, but no gender associated with that. I'm very inclusive in terms of, and I want to be very inclusive with that. I want to show you all that inclusivity is that love is very nuanced, and we all need to practice our masculine and our feminine side. There's so many thoughts about that, but again, I shall leave myself there. And so I kind of want to share with you the practical steps of alignment. So my hypnotherapist and I are actually working on confidence and overall sense of self-worth. So my biggest fear stems from like being unsafe and unsupported speaking my truth, because my truth has always been for others. And that is, again, the intergenerational cycles that I am breaking, right? So as a kid, I had no say over that. I was just placed on me because that's what other people knew. That's what other people have known. Not to blame them, not to have any, negative energy on them. It was just, that's what they knew at the time. That was the tools that they were given. That's what they believed was true. And so as a kid, navigating through that's not easy to be like this. Oh, you guys didn't know what you're doing. You're pissed off as a kid. You're angry, you're angsty, you're sad, you're mad, you're all of the bad, like the feelings exist there, right? And so I am choosing to speak my truth now. And oh my God, is it uncomfortable? It's so uncomfortable to do that. So I also want to say as well that I have another massive fear of being in crowds. Again, that's where I started my medication. And so my assignment this week was to sit in a crowded place, a mall, and just to observe people. And I really want to stress not to observe people with judgment, but just to observe people with curiosity. So I did that. I sat down and I just was curious with my observations of people. And it was like the most fascinating experience of my life. Like, I normally am like, don't look at anybody, just focus in on yourself. If you focus in on yourself, then like nothing else matters. And I like hid myself, completely hid myself. This time I walked in, I got my food, I sat down, and I just practiced curiosity. I'm really good at that. So I did that. And I'll tell you 3 things I observed, because I'm sure you're curious about what I observed. I would be. So number 1, I observed that dads are bored as hell. Y'all, I'm calling it out. It was just so interesting to me. Like the boredom, there was a lot of like this, like, I don't want to be here. So I thought that was interesting. I saw a lot of not like teenagers and children, but like preteens. They were hilarious. They were like just being themselves. And it was really cute to see. And I was like, aw, because I'm going through my own healing journey. And I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I want to not give a shit. So that was really funny. And I also like the one really cute thing I saw was there were a lot of moms with their kids, and they were just like so cute. They were being so sweet with their children and just like entertaining them. And it was just like it made my heart really happy. So those are my curious observations. No judgment. I am just observing. It was fascinating. And I just left it at that. I then went home and I had a bath and I congratulated myself for doing something really big. And because that was really monumental for me, for someone who has major anxiety with crowds historically, I had no anxiety the entire time. And my energy felt like even just leaving my house and like going there. I wasn't even 5 minutes away from my house and I'm driving down the street. Imagine me driving down the street, bopping away. I'm just like bop, bop, bop to my music. And because that's what I do. Probably make people incredibly uncomfortable when I'm singing and dancing while driving safely. And I just was like, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And like, oh my God, what a cool experience. So, in closing, I invite you all to walk on your path and find what lights you up. And I am just here to be a model on my journey, and I'm not here to fix yours. I really want to stress that. Like, this is your journey. This is totally up to you. And I want you to feel comfortable with claiming that side of who you are, because that's what I'm learning to do right here. And I would super love if everyone shared a part of their journey. And if there was anything that resonated with you, or if you're on like the same journey as me, I would super love to hear what sparked for you, what resonated with you, what felt good. And I want to encourage all of us, me included, to show up for ourselves, to invest in ourselves, and to honor our unique identities together. So keep breaking cycles, my friends, and I can't wait until next time.